Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome episode of Wellness Blueprints. I'm so glad you're here to nourish your roots with me. I'm Jess Milner, master nutritionist, quantum energy healer, functional bloodwork specialist. Let's get this rolling. Okay, so today I would like to talk about something which honestly I can't believe I haven't talked about already on a podcast because it's about blood sugar, our blood sugar regulation. Okay, so we hear a lot of stuff about blood sugar, how to regulate it, how to decrease insulin resistance so that we can, most of the time it's for things like, okay, I want to lose a few pounds, or like, perimenopause and menopause is just like making me fluffy. What the hell is going on here? And the thing is, it all has to do with hormones because your blood sugar is very related to insulin, which, this is all your endocrine system. So it does have a lot to do with your overall hormones, which is why it goes a little bonkers when we are going through perimenopause and menopause, because our hormones are doing like this reverse puberty thing. That's right, ladies. This is not some weird thing that needs to be like, oh my God. No, it's literally puberty in reverse. It's a part of life. It is part of pro-aging. It's just what happens to us. So yeah, but nevertheless, these things happen and we end up with all kinds of different wacky symptoms. And one of the most annoying ones is the extra fluff, the extra weight that we start to carry, especially in our midsection, right? So, nobody likes that. Everybody, oh, how come all this stuff's not working anymore? I get it. Okay, so your blood sugar. We want to regulate our blood sugar. And so really the best time to start doing this is first thing in the morning. So there are a couple things that, I just want to point out. I mean, first of all, we have all kinds of breakfast foods that are not a good way to start your day. Okay. It's not that these foods are inherently bad. It's not even that they're inherently bad to eat in the morning necessarily, but let me explain. So we see lots of things like oatmeal, toast, cereal. Do you remember those commercials like in 80s and 90s? You have like your cereal commercials, whether it was like Wheaties or whatever, and they were like part of this complete breakfast. And they would like they might put a little bit of bacon on the side or something, a piece of fruits, a glass of orange juice or something, and they put some toast like next to the cereal. And of course you have milk in the cereal. And the thing is, what is all of that? Okay, so fruit. I'm not saying fruit is bad. You can eat fruit in the morning. That's okay. But fruit is full of natural sugars. So now the fruit itself, awesome. When you make it into a glass of orange juice, how anybody want to take a guess? Like how many oranges does it take to make a large glass of orange juice? It's quite a few. Let me see. I'm trying to think the last time I even like did fresh squeezed orange juice. It's probably anywhere between 5 and 10 oranges that you have to actually squeeze to get a nice big glass of it. Okay. So, and you're taking out all of the fiber, all of the good, all of the other parts that work synergistically with it. So yes, fresh squeezed orange juice or what, I mean, it's so delicious. And I'm not knocking OJ. Okay. Cause like I do love me some OJ, but and the same thing with apple juice or whatever other kind of juice, but so to start that off in the morning, that is a giant sugar rush for your system. Okay, even though it's fruit, sometimes there's added sugar in there too. It depends on what kind you're doing, if you did it yourself or what have you. So the same thing with cereal. So yes, you are putting some milk in there, but most of the time now, these, I won't say words, are telling people to pick fat-free or low-fat milk. No, no. You know what the fat does? It holds on to all of the nutrients. So if there are any in there, you're taking them out. And fat regulates your blood sugar. It keeps it okay. Like when you have when you take something in real carby, like cereal, sugary cereal, or even if it's not sugary, because it's grains and everything, so it's going to spike your blood sugar. It's just what it does. And that's what so it spikes it up, woo, like a really tall like peak, and then it crashes back down. Okay, when you have protein, it does spike it somewhat, barely even halfway of that. Fat stabilizes. It stabilizes your blood sugar. So why would we be saying don't consume fat with all of those carbohydrates? That is not blood sugar advice. Okay. So we have had these cereals and toast. And also, I'm not knocking toast either. I like me some toast sometimes, but this is not the best way to start your day, especially if you are having the perimenopause, the menopause, the fluff. You're having any kind of issues like that. You're like, oh my gosh, I really want to lose a couple of pounds, what have you. That's not going to be the best way to start your day. Because what it does is it shoots your blood sugar way up and then it plummets back down. So you're setting yourself off for a roller coaster of energy, a roller coaster for your mood, because as your blood sugar spikes and drops, your mood is going to fluctuate with it. Your focus is going to fluctuate with it. And your hunger is going to go way up. You're going to be hungrier again later because it's going to process really quickly. So, they say, glucose feeds the brain. And that's not untrue. But glucose, we will break down protein into glucose and it will be useful for your brain. Your brain also wants a lot of fat because it wants that cholesterol and everything. But when we have something real quick, like when we have like oatmeal, it will give you some brain power, some focus right off the bat, but it's not going to be as sustainable. It's not going to be as long lasting. You're going to be hungry again later, and it's going to send your blood sugar for a freaking loop. It's going to be like a peaky roller coaster ride. So that's not the best way to start your day. So definitely you want to start your day focused on protein and some fat. And of course, if you have some fruit, if you have a low glycemic index, carbohydrate, like sweet potatoes or something like that, it isn't like it's the worst time to have a little bit of that, especially because, if you're going to be active during the day, you're going to work off the carbs and everything. But you have to make sure you're getting enough protein and that you're getting some fat in there too. So, sometimes we'll do like eggs, we'll do like sausage or like leftover dinner, maybe with a little bit of veggies. I mean, you could just have like some like raw sweet peppers or something alongside of your eggs or whatever, and those are technically a fruit. So they're going to have sugar and those are going to have those carbohydrates in there. But they're in a form that's going to be a lot happier for your body. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are starting your day with a good protein breakfast. Okay. And the other thing is make sure you eat that protein breakfast before you start having your coffee or whatever other caffeinated tea or, that you're going to have. And the reason for that is because when you wake up in the morning, and I did this when I did a podcast on cholesterol. I did one on cholesterol too, but that's not the one I'm talking about, on cortisol. So when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol naturally spikes. So, about 45 minutes or so after you wake up. So if you are having coffee before you have any protein to like balance things out, that's going to spike your cortisol even more. And then that is going to contribute to that fluffy in the midsection. Okay. So definitely a good idea to make sure that you're getting your protein in first. You want to make sure that you're getting about 30 grams of protein per meal. And I know that can seem like a lot. That can seem really insane, but we want to make sure that we're getting enough protein there, ladies. 30 per meal is going to be probably anywhere between depending on the size of the meals that you're having, anywhere between, if you have 2 meals a day, if you have 3 meals a day, you're looking at about, 60 to 90 grams a day. And even if you go to 100 grams of protein a day, that's going to be fine. You're not going to be hungry. You're going to eat that protein like during your meals, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like I don't even want to eat any more food. I don't need to snack at night. Sometimes we do so well during the day. Even if you're eating proteiny stuff, you're like, okay, I ate my eggs and I ate my sausage and then I had my dinner, you had your sensible dinner, but it wasn't quite enough. Like maybe you only got like 45, 50 grams of protein throughout the entire day. Maybe you didn't have quite enough fat in there. And then what happens at night? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm starving. So then you might get into some of like the crazy snacky s'mores that you would not be binging on if you had gotten enough protein and fat during the day. So if you aim for those during the day, started in the morning, you're really going to set yourself up for a much better and much more stabilized focus, stabilized energy, and stabilized hunger. Okay. Because when your blood sugar does go down and crash, you're tired and you're hungry and you're unfocused and you're just, you're just kind of like, I can't like focus. I can't do the things anymore. So, all right. So blood sugar regulation, what else can we do? Before you get on your phone or your computer or whatever in the morning, get the sunlight on your face. try to do it even outside so that it's not like through a window, but you want that natural circadian rhythm. You should be waking up around the same time every day. Even, like you shouldn't need to wake up with an alarm clock. It's there's actually, that's a whole nother thing. Waking up to an alarm clock can really mess with a lot of things with you. But you want to get that good sunlight in the morning. I was just talking to my husband about this the other day, or, I say, that he has an absolutely amazing circadian rhythm. And he didn't even like do it on purpose, but he's always been in like some kind of construction. And so he gets up early in the morning. He always has. He's always been an early riser. He gets up and he leaves for work, usually before the sun comes up. Sometimes in the summer, the sun is up before he leaves, but he is up every morning. And now, like the dogs wake him up. And, we have a almost year-old Tamascan puppy. So, when she is in your face and wants to go out, you take her out immediately. But he is up every morning, wakes up with the sunshine. He's usually outside with our dogs. He's outside and working. He goes out, he gets in his truck and he drives to work, and then he comes home. And it's so, during the winter he comes home, it might be dark out already, but especially at the rest of the year, when it's not quite dark out until a little bit later, he will like naturally just like zoop and be like the guy falling asleep on the couch, falling asleep in the chair after the sun goes down. And it's not like he won't like wake up and can't be, can't interact with the family, because he can. And, it's not like he's like, asleep all the time or anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. But his body naturally wants to sleep when the sun is going down, when the sun is down, and it naturally wakes up in the morning. Even when he doesn't have, work to get to, before we had the puppy and like the other dogs didn't care, or like before we even had dogs. I mean, I've been with this guy for a lot of years. So he would still wake up in the morning. I mean, I could, depending on how tired I am, sometimes like I'll sleep until 9, 10 o'clock. He does not. He wakes up in the morning and like his body is awake and he's just like, okay, I'm done sleeping. I'm done. I'm getting up. I'm getting out of bed. So he just naturally has this awesome circadian rhythm. So it's just something to aspire to, and I know that it can be a little bit different, especially with women, because our hormones are different than men's are. They just are. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But this is ideal. So I have noticed that since I have stopped giving myself an alarm clock every morning, and it's not like I don't have to be up in the morning. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had to get up. Oh my gosh, what time did I have to get up? We needed to leave around like 4 a.m. or something like that, because I had to get my girls to the airport because they were going back east to visit family and friends. And so I think I had my alarm set on my phone for like 3 a.m. because I needed to make sure that we got everything ready and got into the car and everything. I actually woke up 5 minutes before my alarm was supposed to go off. My body knew it needed to get up then, and it was still dark, but I didn't actually, like the one time in the last couple of months that I've needed an alarm clock, I didn't actually need it. I set it, but it never actually went off. I turned it off. So, I'm noticing that I'm waking up around the same time every day. And sometimes I still feel tired and I might go back to sleep for a little bit. It depends. I mean, like, if you've got a job and you got to be up and out of the house at a certain time, then you got to do your thing. You got to get your kids ready for school. Everybody's got stuff to do. So, I'm not saying that like everybody can be exactly like this, but I have noticed that I will wake up around the same time every day. So when I have, a 9 a.m. Zoom call that I have to be on, or I have an 8 a.m. Zoom call that I have to get onto, that somebody, because maybe it's like somebody on the East Coast, whatever the case is. I've had things like that where I'm like, okay, I will get up and I will do that. And my body will naturally wake up with enough time for me to get up, do all of my morning things, sit and do some journaling, sit and do some meditating, do my workout. I will get all of those things in before that call. And I'm not using an alarm clock. So there's something to be said for that circadian rhythm. And you'll notice that everything else in your body is working really well. And you're able to handle even some carbs and stuff like that, because that is such an amazing part. We are supposed to be in a rhythm with what the natural world around us is doing. And a lot of us have gotten away from that. And it's not your fault. I mean, we have all of these lights everywhere and everything. People used to go to sleep at night because it was like, okay, how much oil do I want to burn? How many candles do I want to use? Like how much wood do I want to use in my fireplace? You're just like, okay, well, I'm going to go to sleep and I'll wake up when it's daylight and then you can get your things done. It's a little bit different now because we have all of these modern technologies and everything. So, it's not anybody's fault, but being in rhythm with nature in general is so, so good, especially for things like blood sugar, because it's going to help to regulate all of your hormones because you're pulling in the sunlight and creating the vitamin D. And we all know that vitamin D acts more like a hormone than it does like a vitamin. Okay. So, um, on that note, also, in terms of sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Yes, all of you, not just, yeah, it's not, yeah. Now, if you have little kids, if you've got, it doesn't happen every night. And I understand. I have 4 kids. So I went through many years where I did not get to sleep through the night. Neither did my husband. I mean, I get it. Everybody is going through a different season of their life. But in general, you do want to aim for 7 to 9 solid hours. And that is because your body is not able to detoxify. You can't detoxify out of your brain properly. You have this lymphatic system that is working while you are sleeping, and it goes around and it's picking up everything, and it cannot get rid of it all if you're not out long enough. And then it just kind of sits there, and you wake up, you kind of feel hazy and everything like that. So you want to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Then let's see. If you are still, I mean, we talked about how much protein you want to have. Okay. If you're still hungry, eat more protein. That goes for whether you're trying to lose weight or you're just trying to eat a healthy diet. Okay. Like you don't have to name your diet. You don't have to have a reason for it, but adding in more protein is going to be where it's at. So if you're still hungry, don't have another roll or another handful of crackers or another scoop of pasta. Have more of the protein. And that's going to be better for your body. It's going to be better for your blood sugar, and it's going to tide you over a little bit better. Not a little bit, it's going to tide you over a lot better. Okay. So yeah, 30 grams of protein per meal. And if you're hungry, eat some more protein. Oh, you can always add in protein and veggies. Even when you're actively trying to lose weight, add in protein and veggies. Okay. And then you want to make sure you're moving your body. Now, I love to lift weights. I do a little bit of HIIT. I do some core movement. I love to go hiking. But everybody has a level that they're at. Yoga is fantastic. I really would love to get to a yoga class again. I love yoga. Pilates is fantastic. There are so many different ways that you can move your body. Even you could do like Tai Chi or something. There are very, moderate ways to move your body. Like you don't have to be lifting weights all the time, or you could start lifting weights and just lift little tiny ones. Like who cares? All right. Or even just lift up your arms. Your arms weigh something. Okay. But move your body. Walking, of course, easiest one to do. So fantastic. And you can just kind of walk around the neighborhood, and observe things as you're walking around the neighborhood, just to be more present in with the moment. So you're getting that grounding, you're getting that outdoor, you're getting that sunshine, you're experiencing the weather. You are grounding yourself while getting the exercise. And on that note, eating a meal and then exercising right after, just like going for a walk. Obviously, you're probably not going to do like a crazy cardio workout right after you eat because then they're going to have to clean the floor. But doing like some squats or going for a walk is fantastic because it's basically telling your body that it can use the food that you just consumed for energy and it does not need to store it as fat. And you can remind yourselves, I know we've discussed this before, but you are the boss of all of your cells. Every single cell in your body is its own living entity and you are the boss. So by all means, remind every cell in your body. Okay, all that food I just ate. Yep, I just ate 2 pieces of pizza and I had a mozzarella stick. We can use this food for energy and not store it as fat. And you can also remind your cells that you can eat this food, you can consume this, and you will use what is usable. It will be absorbed to the body, and anything that is not usable, you will get rid of. You can trust your body to get rid of those things. So, talking to yourself, I'm telling you, as crazy and woo-woo as it sounds, believe me, if you think it sounds crazy and woo-woo, you need the crazy and woo-woo. Because everybody out there who is agreeing with me is like, yes, I do that. That's the best idea ever. I love it. And then there's somebody going, I'm not talking to myself. This lady's out of her mind. Okay, but you need to. It's all about mindset. Okay. Now, all right, in terms of supplementation, because there are some things that we can do to help our body, because sometimes there's like some stuff going on. Maybe your lab work is kind of like edging towards a pre-diabetic situation. Maybe like, you've got the extra fluff, you're not sure what's going on. Maybe there's issues with, whatever the case may be in terms of like what kind of hormonal things are going on. Okay. Because there's a lot of factors in this. So, a lot of the time we end up needing some sort of an adrenal support. Right now, everybody, it's my favorite because it's my body's favorite right now, not because it's my favorite overall. There are several, but standard process adrenal desiccated. They also have Drenamine and Drenatrophin, but some kind of adrenal support is really great. That's also going to be awesome if you feel like you have a cortisol issue. So go back and listen to my cortisol episode. And if you feel like you have a cortisol issue, then adrenal support is probably going to be something that would be very helpful to add into your daily regimen. So I do adore the standard process ones. There's also some cell core that are absolutely amazing that kind of go across the board with things. It's like some kind of endocrine support, and it kind of depends on what it is that's going on. Maybe pancreas support, especially if you have, if you're having a lot of blood sugar issues or your A1C is concerning. Okay, so just some kind of like glucose support, and then in general. Things like berberine and cinnamon bark. What else we got? Gymnema, ginger, and chromium. Those are things that you can add in. Now, I have amazing supplements because you know me, Jess, I got the sauce. I've always got the sauce. And I have a variety of sauces because every body is different, okay? As a practitioner, I want to be able to offer as many things as possible, really, just because I know that like not everybody is going to need the same thing. So reach out to me if you want me to do a little like quick muscle test to see which one of them is going to be best for you. But I wouldn't recommend just buying anything like on Amazon. So, make sure that you are getting your supplements either from me, another practitioner, or somebody who knows, like you don't want to waste your money and waste your time. It's not even that like some things are going to be like bad versus good. But you don't want to waste your money on something that's not actually going to change anything in your body. You want these natural things to actually help your body naturally get to where it's supposed to be. Okay. So that's going to be important there that you want to make sure that oops. Okay. Yeah, so you just want to make sure that you're getting stuff that is going to be actually really good for your body. So just make sure that you are getting high quality supplements. And there are so many out there. Like, I mean, honestly, if it's in Walmart or CVS, it's no good. Put it back. Just put it down and get the hell out of there. Okay. And then, yeah, so you can message me. So if you would like a free PDF on blood tips to keeping your blood sugar. So it's going to go over a lot of the things that I've already talked about on here. But if you would like that free PDF there, you're going to go to www.jess.deeprootedwellnessid.com/blood sugar. And there's a dash, there's a hyphen in between blood and sugar. So blood-sugar. Okay. And if you would like to just get my resource guide, which this is included in the resource guide. So you could, if you just download the resource guide, then you got everything there. You're good. Okay. So that's going to be www.jess.deeprootedwellnessid.com/resources. So go ahead and grab that as well. And you'll have all of my resources there that you can choose from. It's all of the PDFs there that you can just download and then you have them. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed this today. I hope that this was super helpful for you today. Regulating your blood sugar is definitely something that so many women are trying to do. And even if you don't even realize it, if you're just trying to get rid of some of the extra weight that you've been putting on, you're realizing it's been more difficult, or you're slumping by 10, 11 a.m. and all you can do is think about lunch. You have that afternoon slump where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything else. It very well could be related to blood sugar regulation. So by all means, give some of these things a try, okay? And if you haven't already, please leave me a 5-star review. Tell your friends. I would love to have everybody in here with us. And it's going to be coming out very soon. I co-authored a book, so we're going to keep our eyes open for that, and I'm very excited to share that with you. Okay, so I hope everybody is having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Thanks so much for stopping by to Wellness Blueprints. Have a great one.